deck. We do think it is in Tony's favor, but we have seen stranger things happen here at SCG Live, so we'll see exactly who's going to take this match down. Move on to the finals. Both players look like they have kept their opening hands, and we will be underway shortly for you guys. If you are just joining us, Cedric Phillips, Patrick Sullivan, live for you guys here in San Diego, America's finest city. You can join the conversation with us if you'd like at SCG Live if you're on Twitter. Also hashtag SCGSD. Have some fun with us, interact with us, make fun of Patrick and I. Feel free, as we do see an expedition map
Patrick
here on
and
turn
me.
1. I hate you.
Turn 1
Man, do I hate you. As we do have John on 7 cards, and Tony did take a mulligan down to 6. A deck that actually probably does mulligan pretty well.
Yeah, and certainly against these blue decks where he has a bunch of time to get his shop set up.
And we are going to see another Tropical Island, just a pass there, expedition map. Probably going to be sacrificed on the end step, search out the old cloud post and get the engine online. And speaking of engines, your favorite.
So the big question here now is, does John actually have a sword to go get? Because that could actually be really threatening. If he's just on Jit and Batterskull game 1, it doesn't mean that much. But if he had like a Feast and Famine, it could be very good.
Sure.
But no, it appears that he just has a Batterskull to go get.
You can see he wants to get that engine online right away and start getting after Tony's life total. Don't want to give him a ton of time, because that was the issue, of course, in the last match we saw against the blue-white control deck, is that, I mean, the engine's got online, but they just gave so much time for Tony to draw out of things.
Right. And Batterskull is not the fastest clock, of course, but it's certainly better than just sitting around not doing anything.
We're going to see Tropical Island here, and we're going to see Show and Tell here from Tony. Asking, is that going to be okay? Jonathan Salem taking a look at his hand, considering his options. We knew Batterskull's over there. Also saw at least one copy of Force of Will and a bit of agony from the Clippers fan.
I mean, I can't imagine not forcing this, right? Even if you have Plow in your hand or something, I mean, if he has Primeval Titan, it doesn't even matter if you Plow.
Yeah, too much value there gotten. And we are going to see a Force of Will here. Going to remove a mystery card that we can't quite make out.
Intuition.
Intuition, okay. So he's going to move down to 19. And draw himself a brand new card. It is a Flooded Strand. You also see Jace the Mind Sculptor there to go along with another Force of Will. So pretty good draw here, all things considered.
It's you know, maybe you'd like to have a Thoughtseize or Inquisition thrown in there, but you can't ask for too much of a better hand.
This is the kind of draw that can really steal a game from Tony's deck. We are going to see, there's a pen and a pad for the man. So we do have Jonathan at 19 from the Force of Will and Tony at 20. We are going to see a Sensei's Divining Top here from Tony. We are going to see an activation as well here. Get a good look at things. You do see a repeal here. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, you can repeal the German, give himself a lot of time.
Yeah. Very timely draw. He's going to keep things just as they are. You are going to see Cloud Post number 1 from Tony. And there's your Batterskull. You see a draw step here from Jonathan. And now you can just see Jonathan really wants to get the clock started here. So he's going to sacrifice Flooded Strand, move himself down to 18.
Searching for probably either Scrubland or Underground Sea. Gets a C, so all the colors are up.
Yep.
Not Tony's most explosive draw. Certainly not the same quality.
Yeah, without question. We've seen him do bigger and better things over the course of this weekend. He is slow to the gates here. As we are going to see a Scrubland. We do know that Jonathan does have Jace the Mind Sculptor in his hand, but he's going to start off here by attacking for 5. It's going to bring Tony down to 15. Tony currently now on a 3-turn clock. You're going to see Jace the Mind Sculptor.
I assume we're going to brainstorm here, A, because we don't have a blue card for our Force of Will, and B, the top means Fate Sealing is not that productive.
Yep. There is your brainstorm. Looks like we have some copies of Lingering Souls here. And I think that last card is a blue one, and I'm not quite sure what it is.
Looks like a brainstorm.
Yeah. You see he's going to put 2 cards away, so he is safe from whatever can happen next turn. We're going to see a Brainstorm here on the end step. Brainstorm is going to reveal a Candelabra, a Crop Rotation, and a Repeal. Repeal being the big one of the 3.
Yep. But what Tony really needs is some more post effects.
Yeah. Really needs to get that mana advantage going. I mean, that's the best part of his deck. And as you said at the top, that's the area where Jonathan cannot interact with him.
Right.
Primeval Titan in his hand as well now. We're going to see a Crop Rotation here.
It's going to give him a shuffle and another post. And in conjunction with the Candelabra, now he can actually start making a real mana.
Yep. He can start catching up,
Yep.
which is important here because he is behind. So we do see Crop Rotation. The additional cost of that is sacrificing the land, so it may not have resolved just yet. Jonathan, having that Force of Will in the blue card in his hand, certainly something to consider.
Yep. So if he goes and gets a Cloud Post here, let's think about this. He can go, he now makes 2 mana, he plays Candelabra and activates it, so 2 floating, untaps, and then has... So he can actually untap and cast Primeval Titan this turn if his Candelabra resolves. And then that's almost certainly going to be worthy of a Force of Will. And then any follow-up play the next turn, you know, Tony's going to have a lot of mana to work with.
He's going to make his move. We see Candelabra.
And it's going to be interesting to see where Jonathan decides to make his fight, because obviously if he knows that it's Primeval Titan that Tony's trying to set up here, he would rather save the Force for that. But if you're worried about Eldrazi, you might need to cut off the Candelabra because your counterspells aren't sufficient at that point.
You do see Force of Will take care of the Candelabra.
So yeah, Jonathan showing a lot of respect for the potential of an Eldrazi there.
Let's see if we're going to see Jace with a Brainstorm to lead off the Torm. And that's exactly what we're going to see, the old Brainstorm.
I don't know if that hand really has any further disruption in it. I mean, there's cards, but it looks like Lingering Souls type stuff.
Yeah, just a way to put a clock on. The interesting thing from Tony in the matches that we have covered thus far, Glimmer Post's life gain not really been relevant in any of the games we played.
They'd be good right now.
Yeah, it seems like this is going to be one where it will be good. We're going to see a land there. Looks like that's going to be an alternate Art Caracas there. That's what it looks like on the bottom.
Is that an Inquisition in his hand? It's like Inquisition Lingering Souls? Plus land?
Yeah, I can't quite make it out, but we are going to see just an attack here. Surprised not to see that attack from the Thornforge Mystic. Maybe that representing Umezawa's cheat.
Just going to send them back as they were.
Now, it's repeal time.
So is Jonathan willing to give up his whole turn here?
That's the question. Because right now he could very easily, return the Battle Skull to make it so that he doesn't draw a card. Or he can just let that go, cast Lingering Souls, flash it back, move on from there.
Yeah, next turn, pick it up, replay,
Or even something as simple as just equipping it onto one of those Lingering Souls tokens.
Right, yeah.
So there's definitely some options here. It's really a decision of, do I want to let Tony have that card off of the repeal or not? What's more important?
Right. And you can tell John, last turn with the crop rotation of the Candelabra, he's not, this is maybe his first time playing the matchup. He's not 100% sure how he wants to fight over this stuff. You can tell by the way he's pausing their decision making.
You do see repeal draw a card. Actually drew a Caracas there for Tony. You're going to see Inquisition to co-select here.
Inquisition, I believe, missed, showed
It's gotta
Caracas and...
definitely Caracas, another mystery card there as well. Maybe it's a Primeval Titan, not quite sure.
One of the big O's.
Yeah. Either way, Inquisition misses. Now we're going to see Lingering Souls with 2/1/1s. here comes some spirit tokens. 2 of them for you guys. We're going to pass back. We do know that Tony knows what's on top of his deck from Sensei's Divine Top activation. It is a Scalding Tarn.
Do we know what the card all the way on the left is?
That's the mystery.
Oh, it was Primeval Titan.
Okay.
Oh boy, okay.
2, 4, 5, 6.
And here it is.
Titan.
Inquisition this. So we're probably going to get Cloud Post Ayavugan, I guess?
Might be about that time. With that mana. I could also consider Glimmer Post here, maybe. I mean, 15, he's actually sitting pretty good.
Yeah, he's got a lot of
life
life to play with.
So these Cloud Posts now we're going to tap for 3 mana each. So we're looking at 9, 10, 11 mana at the very least moving in to the next turn.
Yeah. 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, are we a mana short of... Really? So we have enough mana, for example, to next turn say go I for Emrakul, untap, cast Emrakul, because we're at exactly 15 now. Well, we have 13. We have 13 plus I.
Yeah.
So
3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 right now.
yeah. So we're actually
We're almost there. But with a Titan attack, he'll be able to put in 2 more Cloud Posts. So it makes those Cloud Posts each tap for 5.
right. I mean,
He can do the second main phase.
right. I mean, does Jonathan actually have to unsummon the Primeval Titan? I mean, we're in a bit of a squeeze.
It's strange, but it could come down to that.
And
We do see a
Jonathan's
Rainstorm here.
Looks like a handful of blanks.
Well, there are a lot of misses in his deck in game 1.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, he's got a ton of cards. He could really use that Vindicate right now. That's the big one.
Yeah. Tijan, really just a lot of agony on his face. You can tell it just, and this goes for a lot of people, just have not played against this deck.
Right, and I mean, there's so many fights you have to fight over.
Yeah.
You know, it's that Candelabra play. I know it doesn't seem like much, but if he lets that Candelabra resolve, a lot of his Eldrazi are just online now, or he's a Cloud Post away, or maybe even just one of his posts away from Eldrazi being live that turn.
Yeah.
So
Just start going crazy.
do you fight that fight? Well, it turns out Tony actually had Primeval Titan, so if you say you're forced to will for Primeval Titan, this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
But how do you know what to fight over?
Yeah.
There's too many things. There's too many different things going on.
And the angles of attack are so weird too.
Right.
I mean, Primeval Titan is obvious. Candelabra is like a little bit underwhelming of like, what can you do with that? And then you start thinking about what the opponent can do with that. And you go,
It's a lot, actually.
I'd rather you don't do that.
I mean, if he lets his Primeval Titan go into combat, then we're Emrakulling next turn.
Yeah, I believe that is the case. Yeah.
Because those things are the untap ones make 5 apiece.
5 apiece plus I plus 3 lands. It's 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. Minus 7 is 13. So he's short. I mean, he can get Ulamog. He can't be Emrakul just yet. He's going to be short too.
Ulamog's not a bad starting point.
Not at all.
I don't mind an Ulamog.
No. Easy to please?
Yes,
I had
sir.
No idea.
So Jonathan getting a 6th land here. Is this Supreme Verdict? Or are we going Jit Equip?
I'm not even quite sure that he's sure exactly what he wants to do this turn.
Yep.
Tough decision.
And he's going to flash back the Lingering Souls.
So he's adding to his board well here, not getting in for a ton of damage, but he's got to get this game over with. I mean, it's got to be over in 1, maybe 2 turns. You can't go more than 2.
Yeah. I mean, the upside that Jonathan has here, it's a small thing, but he has a Caracas in play, which means that Tony's won Caracas just legend rules, so he actually can't go infinite.
Sure.
So, there's,
That's a little bit of upside.
thank God for small miracles, right? You know what I mean? So he's going to spin his top and doesn't like what he sees, shuffles away. But yeah, Jonathan needs that. He needs that Vindicate stat.
Super important.
He needs to get Eye off the table. I mean, he can't. This turn's going to be Ulamog or something, and then next turn's going to be Emrakul. So. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Although with Tony at 12, I guess he can just go get. He can just go get Glimmer Posts and not die.
Yeah, if he's terribly worried about his life total, he can just go get Glimmer Posts, and it's not that big of a deal. And now you are going to see Primeval Titan attack here. You're going to see the 2 triggers, so long as he does remember. Do not want to forget that, and there we go.
Yeah, I assume at this point we would want to just go get our Glimmer Posts, because there's at least one, because his light total is under a little bit of a duress right now.
And you see the Glimmer Post there. Well, the front, I think he's thinking the same thing as you. The only way I'm going to lose this game is by actually having my life total attacked. So he's going to gain 10 life and move to 22. And just playing it safe.
Yeah, I think the only debate there is whether or not you want to get 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah. You do see Jonathan reading that there. It does count all the locusts in play. So give me 5 each as they do come into play simultaneously, not one at a time.
I mean, if we're attacking Jace here, that's another. It's another line of attack, another tool that Jonathan really needs that's going to be taken off the board.
Yep.
I'm working under the assumption that that's where the attack went.
I'm sitting at 22 life right now. You know, attacking Jace is pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
Not going to die in a counter swing, that's
yeah,
for sure.
And if Jonathan wants to, keep his Jace around, he has to lose a Stoneforge and 2 Spirit tokens. And we are going to go, I guess, post-combat. I don't know, I guess maybe Tony just attacked Jonathan.
Yeah, we can get clarification from our spotter there exactly where that Primeval Titan did go to. It does look like, Jace still being on the board there.
Ooh, Lamog.
This will take care of Jace.
Yeah, sure.
Find a way. Yeah, so he hit Jonathan down to 14. You see Ulamog being read by Jonathan as well. Gonna be a Vindicate when it does go on the stack. See, he just put it already reaching for Jason, saying that's probably not gonna be there much longer.
Yeah, he just slides the die off there.
He actually has perfect mana to be able to do this because he does tap the 3 Cloud Posts for 15 mana. 15 minus 8 is 7. 7 plus 2 from the Eye of Ugin is 9. 10, 11.
He played a Vesuva that turn.
Yep. So it is going to be enough to get that.
All right, this is Vindicate or bust, and we might still be dead even if it's Vindicate.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, it's not good. Don't Caracas that time.
No.
Don't Caracas me, bro. I guess it is the slowest Vindicate ever if it's just giving Caracas a bunch. But again, he'll just start picking up the relevant permanents, which are like Umazawa's Jit, Batter Skull.
Oh, so. Jonathan's not out of the woodwork by any stretch. If he has Vindicate, he's just not dead the next turn.
Yeah.
Quote from John in the match: I love how he spends 18 mana and has 1 left over for top. Sick life.
Yeah. Life's not fair for a Clippers fan.
I wouldn't be worried.
Easy.
I wouldn't be worried about that top too much right now if I was Jonathan. It's pretty low on the list of things to be worried about.
So we're gonna see Batter Skull.
There is something
over here.
I had to say. There is something a little rewarding, about you play these decks and you play against Esperblade, and the Esperblade deck beats you, and they're like, "What are you doing? Show up to Legacy with whatever it is you're trying to do. Like just plow, Stoneforge, Jace, like the black discard spells, all the best stuff."
Sure.
It's nice to see the Esperblade player on the other side of this. It's like, oh wow,
at least for a game.
Lingering Souls.
Yeah.
Lingering Souls, huh? Oh, I get it, because if the game goes on for 17,000 turns, you get a little bit of extra value out of your flashback spell. That's pretty sweet. Ulamog.
Yeah.
Tutor for Emrakul, cast it. All right. I guess you can sacrifice some of those Lingering Souls tokens. You get so much value out of them.
I promise this turn's not going to go 1,000 turns.
Yep.
As we do see that last sensei, that last mana being used at Sensei's Divine Top activation that Jonathan is so jealous of.
Yeah. I'd be jealous of the Ulamog. And I'd be even more jealous about the Emrakul that's about to show up.
Now we do see an attack step here. And we will see an Annihilated trigger. And he said, hold on a second.
He's going to back up.
We may not be in the attack step just yet. I may want to bounce that guy so you can vindicate me again instead of vindicate 4 of my things. Rock, hard place? Anyone?
Anyone? Also, Primeval Titan's going to get, 2 more Glimmer Posts and gain 20 or whatever.
It's not a fair deck when it gets going. That's for sure. It is not a fair deck when it gets going, but it just has to get going. And this game it didn't seem like it was going to.
Oh, Lingering Souls. It's pretty cute. I get it. Because you flash it back. Get 2 more guys. Pretty awesome. All right. We're going to Caracas, the Ulamog.
Didn't think I'd be saying that walking into the day today.
Nope. Primeval Titan. Going to get... I mean, do we have enough mana to actually tutor for Emrakul and cast it and Ulamog this turn? Or are we actually at...
I mean, we're getting close.
We're not there yet. We're real close.
We are getting close.
So the Cloud Post tap 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 27, 33, hardness 7, 26. Yeah, I think we're...
So we had Vesuva, the 2 Vesuvas that came into play. One copy of the Caracas to take care of the annoying one. The other one took care of the Glimmer
So
Post.
now we're gonna just Caracas Emrakul this turn?
We call it the loop.
I mean, yeah, I've seen that before.
I have demonstrated the loop. So Primeval Titan bites the dust here.
Okay.
Poor guy. Didn't do very much. Now we're going to see an Eye of Ugin activation here. This is what is called, this is what is known as the wheel. Takes care of the high and the low.
Top and bottom.
Yep.
All right, so I guess we'll spin our top.
Sure.
Just want to make sure.
Candelabra within there.
In case we need a Ulamog this turn, I guess.
Certainly don't have enough mana. So we draw a card here. Flooded Strand. Hi-ya! There is Annihilated trigger on the stack. Jonathan's going to have to sacrifice 6 permanents. Take 15.
Oh, Lingering Souls. I get it.
I think it is a... I think it is... We're going to see what we saw, actually, the last game, except for when Tony actually plays the Caracas.
Yeah.
That's when it's going to end it.
Yeah, I really like Tony making him sweat out the decision and then playing Caracas.
Yeah.
Oh, run it back.
I'm not quite sure if I want to sacrifice those.
Don't think too hard. It's not. Don't worry.
Assuming that Tony still does have the Caracas in his hand.
Sure. I guess it could have gotten shuffled away at some point. Sure.
When there's a one-sided beating like the one we're seeing right here, you have to make light of the situation.
Yeah, yeah.
And there it is. And there's the Caracas. Yep. Yeah, there's the Caracas in an instant. That's the second time we see Caracas either in activation or playing it result in an instant concession.
Jonathan looking up at the camera, I bet he is quite curious as to what our commentary is on this one. Sideboard time. Let's look at what we got here.
Pause that.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
You know what time it is.
Oh, yeah. Trivia question.
Your first day? First day of the job?
No, it's not.
Okay. Act like it. All right?
Yeah, well, you become a prickly pear when it gets late in the show, I gotta say. It's not the first time.
I get feisty.
This is not the first time this has happened.
I get feisty.
I don't know. Maybe I gotta give Evan a call or something.
This better be a good question.
Okay, so the 12 post deck we're seeing on camera a variety of singleton lands. There's one land that allows him to both find and cast on the discount his various alien Eldrazi. Name that land. Hashtag SCG Premium. The winner will come away with 6 months of free premium.
6 months?
6 months.
It's been dominating the last couple of games we've seen.
It's
pretty good.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty good actually.
Yep.
Gotta give it to him.
Watching Tony just wail on these
Surgical.
blue players is just really fun for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy doing it the way that I do, but the way Tony does it certainly has its charms too.
It's commendable. It's certainly fair.
Emrakul or Flame Rift, it's all the same in the end.
It might as well be the same card, honestly.
Basically the same thing. So, in the sideboard here, we have Jonathan actually has some good action here.
Okay.
He has a Sword of Feast and Famine, huge upgrade.
That's actually super important.
Super important. He actually has a piece of equipment that's meaningful. I mean, he had Jit and Batterskull and play that game. They didn't matter. Yeah. So that's a huge upgrade. He has 3 copies of Geist's Draft. I'm not sure this is necessarily like the matchup in mind, but just something that allows him to get some pressure on is very important.
Gotta get the opponent dead.
Yeah.
It's actually relevant.
Like getting those Lingering Souls out of his deck and bringing Geist's Draft seems like a gigantic upgrade. He has another copy of Force of Will. He has a Cabal Therapy, a Disenchant, another Inquisition. So he has a couple cards here that you can just sub out some of his, suboptimal disruption and bring in things. I mean, I'm not saying that Disenchant's like a deal by any stretch, but it's certainly better than some of the other cards he has in his deck. So.
Absolutely. Tony's side here, again, you guys do see the sideboard on the screen. Not a lot of options here, as this is a pretty favorable matchup for him. You could see some number of Flusterstorms coming in, 2 copies of Enter, Shaper, Savant. It's strange, but Tabernacle of Pendravel is actually not crazy.
Well, I think that if you're in Tony's position, you have to assume the first card to hit the bench has got to be Lingering Souls.
Sure.
It's just too stinky.
Okay, that's fair. Even something as simple though, however, if let's say Jonathan just does go, Stoneforge Mischief for Batterskull, put the Batterskull into play, and it's at least 1 mana, potentially 2, to keep those things in play. So something to consider if he does have some worse cards to bring out here.
I mean, Glacial Chasm's not very good, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's an easy swap.
Yeah, Bojuka Bog as well.
Well, Bojuka Bog makes mana, so that's why Chasm I think is maybe the more dubious. Although it wouldn't surprise me if those lands in general, like if he had enough mana where he doesn't view Bojuka Bog as a mana source. Yeah. That's just a card that's utility, and he can cut it if the opponent's not that oriented out of their graveyard.
Sure. Other than that, he's really going to want to keep things the same again because his deck is an engine.
Right.
You don't want to take too many things away from that engine. Make it so it doesn't run as good. So pretty much it for sideboarding there. As far as the other match that is taking place, we have a Jund versus Rug match. Kurt Sampson and his Rug deck. He is up a game against Miki Urban and his Jund deck. So
the winner, again, if Tony wins this match, we've seen him fade Wastelands all day long.
Tiptoeing around landmines.
If he wants that trophy, he's going to have to go through 4 Wastelands at some point.
It's true.
But for the time being, he is simply against Stoneforge, Mystic, and Friends.
Making it look easy thus far.
Yeah, pretty easy. I mean, and it's been insane in both these matches. Like, Jonathan's draw was quite good. I mean, Stoneforge into an equipment, got a quick clock, had some disruption, multiple copies of Force of Will, Jace the Mind Sculptor. Like, again, it's a repeat of what we said in the top 8. If you asked him for the cards he would want to draw in the matchup, with the exception of Vindicate, he really found all of them. I mean, all the pieces of the puzzle that you would really want were there, and it was still not enough to withstand what Tony was able to do once he generated a sufficient amount of mana.
Well, that just shows how difficult the matchup is.
Yeah,
that's all that exemplifies.
I mean, that was the critical point, of course, was Jonathan Force of Will in the Candelabra, presumably to play around Eldrazi, but didn't have an answer to Primeval Titan, and Primeval Titan just wreaked havoc on that game once it was online.
Been known to do that. That's
not the first time.
No, I'm sure everyone is readily aware of just how good Primeval Titan is. And Jonathan just said, you know what, I'm out of here. I'm good. I'm out of here. This matchup, how can this be fair?
Yeah. You understand that his lands make 7 mana.
Yeah.
The rules of the game say that your lands make 1, so his just cheating.
I want to talk to R&D. Put them on the phone.
Yes.
I can't believe they would do something like this to me.
You understand that Glimmer Post is a locust, so it works with Cloud Post? You guys know this?
Shit's good, Abe. We do see both players shuffling up here, presenting. We see some cut action.
Oh,
here.
and also Tony Mulligan backing.
Ah, yes.
Yes,
the, old,
again.
the old salt in the face.
Jonathan's hand, like, excellent for the matchup. Tony Mulligan then fumbled around for a little while and then still just did his thing.
So we're going to see both players take a look at their opening 7 cards here. Tony Murata on the right, Jonathan Salem for the left. SCG Live here in San Diego. We are in the semifinals of our Legacy tournament this week. And I appreciate you guys watching at home here. Patrick Sullivan, Cedric Phillips. Can't always join the conversation on Twitter. If you do want to make fun of Patrick just like I do, all you have to do is tweet at SCG Live, hashtag SCGSD.
Or just come find me.
Yes.
Jonathan Salem leads off with a Tundra.
And we do see a Glimmer poster, so not a Cloud post for once.
Yes.
And Tony, we'll see if he has an Expedition map here. Uh-oh. All right, Sensei's Divine top. Okay.
Still, all right, so Stoneforge Mystic, and I assume this will be Feast and Famine. And this can definitely change around the way the game gets played, because now Tony's under pressure to do something fast.
You're attacking both his life total in his hand. We do see him shuffling through here, and he does bring Feast and Famine to the front, just like you said he would. I mean, great card. Very good card in this matchup. It really is. Making it so that Tony can't really mess around like he did the last game.
Yeah, definitely just going after his life total is not sufficient use of your equipment. You have to be attacking his hand, attacking his mana, you know.
Yeah, well, luckily they printed a card that does that.
And so much more.
Yes. And Sword and Feast and Famine, which we will bring up on the screen for you guys. If you've never seen it before, +2/+2, pro green, pro black. Opponent's going to have to discard, and you get to use your lands again.
Yep.
Really broke out at Pro Tour Paris a couple of years
It's
ago.
a 3-cost 2 to equip, and it gives your creature phage.
Yeah.
Connect you in the game. Pretty close. It feels pretty close.
Sometimes it feels that way.
Yeah.
You know, it would be nice if actually it phaged, because, you know, this one, Feast and Famine, it's slowly, you can't tell that you're losing when you get hit by it.
Yeah.
But it's the slow knife
Right.
that cuts the deepest.
Let's see if Jonathan has a follow-up here. I think I saw a Geistesane trapped in his hand, but he's going to pass on casting it.
Now we do see Cloud Post here. We're going to see Vesuva copy Cloud Post. So this is going to tap for 3. Glimmer Post will be the 4th mana here. No colored mana here yet. And we are going to see Candelabra.
Whoa, boy.
This is where things get a little bit scary. You're going to see a Brainstorm.
Yeah, and Jonathan is, you know, maybe prepared to fight over this Candelabra, although I feel at this point fighting over mana is just a lost cause.
I'm inclined to agree. I think you just have to just counter the spells, the real spells, because we saw what happened when you countered Candelabra last game, and you know it made sense, but
He's going to fight over this.
Yep. We're going to see a little Geistesane trapped. One thing that will do a nice job of mitigating that sort of Feast and Famine that is coming, and we're going to see Batterskull come into play here. One thing
So I assume we're going to untap and put Sword on Batterskull.
One thing that will mitigate that is Sensei's Divining Top, as we see Marsh Flats here, knocking Jonathan down to 18, and we're going to see Sword come in through Stoneforge, and now we see who the unfair deck is.
I don't know. Tony's got so much mana to work with, though.
He does, but he's not going to have a ton of cards to work with, and I mean, Jonathan's going to be able to get to use a ton of his mana every single turn.
Yep.
Here's his Sword. Oh, discard.
Glacial Chasm.
Chasm, sure. So it's going to be an attack for 6 damage. Going to put Tony down to 15, and yeah, and Geistesane Trap too, so now the pressure is on.
Yep. So next turn he's coming in for 6, 10. All right, so Tony does not die on board next turn.
Yeah, but the pressure is certainly on right now. He needs to find something. Tony doesn't. He needs to find it right now. As you see Pithing Needle among those 3 cards that are there. He can make a lot of mana. He can make a lot of mana looking at 7 right now on the table.
And if he has a Cloud Post or a Vesuva, those lands go up to, he goes up to having
10.
Yeah, he's got 4, 8
or 9.
Yeah, 9.
And draw a card. You see Pithing Needle draw here.
A little late to the party.
Absolutely. Tropical Island. Does he have Show and Tell maybe?
He has Needle. Even Repeal would be very good here.
Yeah, it would be great. It'd be absolutely great. We're going to see 3 mana tapped here. You're going to see Pithing Needle. Let's see what he's going to name here. We will get confirmation from our table spotter for you guys in just a moment.
Feast and Famine, it looks like he named.
Yeah, it is sort of Feast and Famine.
I mean, that very strongly implies that there's a repeal, right?
That's what it feels like, yeah.
Yeah.
See Glimmer Post there in his hand as well. And we are going to see, there is the repeal.
Nice. So the sword shut off and the clock's been reduced considerably, and he's just drawn an Emrakul.
Yeah, it is Emrakul, so he's going to spin with the rest of the mana that is floating there.
We're still not close to being able to cast it.
A little ways away. He has already played his land for the turn, the Tropical Island, so Geist's going to come across for 6 here with its Angel, and Stoneforge Mystic would be 7. And if there is a land here for Jonathan, he can actually equip the Batterskull over to a guy and make this a 2-turn clock. But he's going to need the land.
Well, he has Force of Will, which is also quite good here.
Sure.
But the question is, does he have a blue card or a land? And his hesitation here implies to me that there's no land there.
Makes you wonder what the cards left over are then. Alright, so across he comes with the Angel, the Geist, and the Stoneforge. It's going to be an attack for 7. Going to bring Tony down to 8.
Oh, it looks like a plow? Is that right? It didn't look like a blue card.
And we do see Scalding Tarn drawn there for the turn. An activation of Sensei's Divining Top. Take a look at 3 new ones. Tropical Island among them. Sensei's Divining Top. Third one is a Mystery. Third one actually does look like a Brainstorm there. So he's going to put those cards back. Going to play Glimmer Post. Move himself up to 12. Keeping
Pretty
his head above
significant.
water.
Yep, that's another turn. And 2 more mana for his lands.
Yep. So on the end step here, we see some mana being tapped. Is he going to bring Batterskull back? He is going to bring Batterskull back. Okay. Force of Will, the card drawn. You're going to see Brainstorm here. Flooded Strand to go along with a couple more cards. Can't tell if there are any blue ones there for the Force of Will.
Yeah, I'm surprised if he fired off that Brainstorm if he didn't have another blue card in his hand. Yeah, it looks like he's like Batterskull, Plow, Land, Force. So again,
he had the protection. He's looking to get a little bit better with Brainstorm, as we do see Geist of St. Trapp and Token come across. Going to knock Tony down to 6. Stoneforge threatening to put Batterskull back into play. And we're going to see what Tony can find. He doesn't have much action in his hand.
Yeah.
We're going to see top spin here.
yeah, I mean, I think if he has Emrakul, the card he really needs here is Crop Rotation at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
Because then he would have more than enough mana to cast Emrakul.
Brainstorm, the card drawn by Tony. Crop rotation would have been big there.
Yeah.
He's Scalding Tarn. He's going to go down to 5. Basically, he wants to see 3 fresh cards with the Sensei's Divining Top here. This is a big one too right now because he does get a second green for his Tropical Island, which means that when he does spin top, if he does find a Primeval Titan, he can draw the card with top and actually cast Primeval Titan, search out Glimmer Post, keep his head above
Yeah.
water.
Yep.
So, Scalding Tarn actually going to be pretty good right now.
Yeah, he really needs to find Glimmer Post.
The other dangerous thing here too is he's already played his land for the turn in that Scalding Tarn. So,
Yep.
so you get 5. It might be Primeval's Fighting or bust. Brainstorm to start. Caracas, Sensei's Divine Top, Vesuva.
All right. Well, Vesuva is. Oh, he's already played his
played
Tarn.
Tarn.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
That's a wrap. So Tony is going to concede. We're going to move on to game 3.
Jonathan Hand again, very good.
Yeah.
Needs that early Stoneforge. I mean, the matchup I feel is like quite a bit different now that he has Feast and Famine.
I
That's
agree with that.
a significant card.
You know, not only does Jonathan need the early Stoneforge Mystic to be able to apply the pressure with Batter Skull and Sword of Feast and Famine, but additionally, it's very important that Tony doesn't have Pithing Needle to stop those cards as well. And we know he has 3 copies of that in his main deck and one in his sideboard.
Yep.
So it needs to be an actual combination of things to break his way. I mean, it's Magic. It could definitely happen.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. It got demonstrated that game, but Jonathan, you know, he's 2 strong draws so far.
Yeah.
And now, 3rd game, going in on the draw. Our other match on the other side of the bracket, our Rug player up 1-0.
Yep. We do have Kurt Sampson still up 1-0 over Mickey Urban playing John. They are in game 2 right now, grinding it out, seeing who's going to make it to the finals here, just like Tony and Jonathan are.
So, you know, it's funny how the legacy game sort of shifts around. I mean, even, you know, the format's still defined by Brainstorm and Force of Will cards that got printed 15 years ago, and all it takes is Abrupt Decay and Deathrite Shaman, 2 like kind of innocuous cards on their surface, and now the decks that are getting played are wildly different.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't take much.
So Tony being on the play here, you know, obviously a big deal.
And he hasn't let off with Cloud Post yet, right?
Not yet.
Well, our field report indicating that Mickey has a very strong position in the second game.
Yeah. 2 Dark Confidants and 3 Deathrite Shamans in play. Got to be feeling pretty good.
Yes.
If you're Mickey with those guys in play. Might be seeing a game 3 in that match. But we may not have perfect information either. As Dark Confidant 2 in play.
Not always good.
A little risque.
Second one usually a lot worse than the first one.
Indeed.
This is,
It's factual information.
yeah, historically been the case. But it is very cool to see the 12 post deck in action here. You know, their legacy is full of all the stuff where it's by no means tier 1 and no means, you know, prevalent or even appears in some tournaments whatsoever. But when you sit down across from it, you're like, wow, I forgot how good this card is. Or I forgot, yeah. I remember, you know, the first Legacy tournament where I got Hind, I was like, oh, I forgot this was a thing. And,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Doesn't feel so good. So both players going to draw their 7 here. Tony Murata on the right, Jonathan Salem on the left. 12 posts versus Esper Stoneblade. And we'll see if both players can keep their 7 cards, and it looks like we have 7 each. Again, no Cloud Post to start things off.
And no Expedition map either.
Yeah, or Sensei's Divining Top. Interesting. And there's a Cloud Post now.
Okay.
So maybe he started there and left with Cloud Post next, maybe because he doesn't have a Brainstorm or something like that. I think I do see a Brainstorm in his hand right now, too. As we are going to see. Yet again, Stoneforge Mystic here from Jonathan.
Although I believe he already had Feast and Famine in hand, so I suspect this one will be going and getting a Batter Skull. Yep. Jonathan shortcutting through all of his searching.
He's got everything he needs. So a draw step here from Tony.
Oh, and Tony's hand's got at least one Vesuva and a bunch of Glimmer Posts, too. So mana is not going to be an issue.
I see a copy there. And again, as you said at the top, this is an area where Jonathan simply can't fight with them, as we're going to see a candelabra.
I mean,
now it's really on him to have Force of Will. He's going to untap this land here. 2.
Yep. False alarm.
Yep.
Pump fake.
So we're all good. Candelabra does resolve, and now, as you said, things are really going to get out of control here in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, Jonathan has a click in his hand, so he may want to just click in the draw step here, and then next turn, if he has a 4th land, go put Feast and Famine on the click.
Yeah, slide it through the Stoneforge window, make it a little bit cheaper. Get to untap the lands as well. I mean, Vanilla Click could be pretty big here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Tony's just, he's all dressed up now. He just needs somewhere to go.
Yep.
Mana is...
You're going to see Vanilla Click right now.
Oh.
And Tony's going to respond with a Brainstorm. See a 1.
That's a crop
2.
rotation, another blue spell, a Pithing Needle.
Yeah.
Pithing Needle is a huge draw too.
Yep. Both very, very good draws here from Tony. See what he wants to hide away. See what's going to get clicked away. You know, if he has a big Eldrazi in his hand already, and we can't make out his hand very well, he can almost cast that thing the next turn, which is terrifying.
Yes.
As we do have a report from our other match very quickly for you guys. Kurt Sampson and Mickey Urban will be going to Game 3 right now. Rug
So we're
versus
looking
Jund.
at Flusterstorm, crop rotation, 2 Glimmer Posts, and a Caracas. And Jonathan puts the crop rotation on the bottom. Again, I'm surprised this... I guess he needs to fight over crop rotation because of Ayavugan.
Say that again?
He needs to fight over crop rotation because of Ayavugan.
Yeah.
I was about to say, again, why are we fighting over mana, but... Did Tony draw off of the click?
He's about to.
Okay.
You see Pithing Needle as his draw.
Pithing Needle, quite awesome, because that shutting down that Feast of Famine gives him a lot of time to build up his hand and get all of his mana going.
Now you do see Emrakul.
Oh boy! Oh my God! Are we doing it this turn?
So we have 3, 6, 7, 8. 8 minus 4 is 4.
No, we're short this turn.
Yeah, he's a little bit short. He can make his move next turn. He's gonna name Stoneforge Mystic with that, and not Sword of Feast and Famine. Which doesn't surprise me too much again, because he didn't actually see Sword of Feast and Famine off of Stoneforge Mystic.
Sure.
And you see Force of Will, the card drawn here for Jonathan.
But that's not... I mean, if we got Emrakul next turn... that doesn't matter.
Duly noted. That is true.
That's some... I mean, he needs... What does he need, like Thoughtseize right now? That's the one. Vindicate?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he needs one of those kind of cards. And I'm not seeing it.
And even right now, by naming Stoneforge Mystic with that Pithing Needle, he can't even slide in Sword of Feast and Famine, because the plan, of course, was to slide in Sword of Feast and Famine through Stoneforge Mystic.
Right.
But he can't even hard cast it right now, so there will be no equipment even coming across this turn.
Yeah, is he hard casting his sword?
He's thinking about it, as he does have 3 mana. He's going to come across for 4 first with the Vendilion Click and the Stoneforge to knock Tony down to 18. You see Sword of Feast and Famine come in.
I think there might be an alien invasion coming.
Repeal. The draw for Tony Glimmerpost.
So another 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, minus 1, 10, 20 mana? 20 mana? That sound right?
Close. So you're going to see 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 will say it's 14. Yeah, he's there. 14. Hello.
Hello. That's the 5th turn.
Yikes. not a good,
Spellbearer, Force of Will, not going to get you out of this one.
not a good spot to be in if you're Jonathan. I don't think Tony's going to need to crack us this time.
No, I think. Jonathan coming to grips with the full enormity of the situation he is in. Your planet is being invaded.
Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. World War E.
That's not a bad hand, but it's not good here.
That is it. Tony Murata moving along to the finals with his 12-post deck. Still dodging landmines, not playing its Wasteland when we see him. You see Jonathan frustrated, understandably so, but difficult matchup for him, no matter how you look at it.
Jonathan's hands all 3 games were very good.
They really were.
Yeah, you can't.
They really were.
Stoneforge for a sword, had a force of will. I mean, all the tools that he could really ask for.
Yeah.
But that matchup is not good.
No.
I think we can safely say.